Okay, this one is Lucian Bute versus Glen Johnson. Firstly, got to point out this fight was supposed to be Lucian Bute versus Kelly Pavlik, but Kelly's back on the sauce, and now we had to get an opponent in last minute, and we got Glen Johnson. I think that's a good decision, particularly for Bute. I think Johnson's actually one of Bute's better opponents. I think that it's going to make for a good match. I think that Bute has probably still got too much for Johnson, but it will be an interesting matchup. I'm going to start with Johnson now. Firstly, what can we say about Johnson? 42 years old. He's rated number 6 in the Super Middleweight division. He's the road warrior. We know that. He's had a total of 68 fights, losing 15, only 1 by knockout, and he's drawn 2. He's still a great fighter. So Johnson has been fighting more recently at Super Middleweight. He's been brought down, and there's nothing wrong with that. He's had fights with Alan Green and Carl Froch at Super Middleweight, and he won against Alan Green by technical knockout in round 8. It was a good fight. It was a close fight. There was only like 1 point between it, and one of the judges had it either way basically. And then he obviously lost a majority decision, should have been a unanimous decision really, to Carl Froch. I mean, he was good against Carl Froch. You can't say he wasn't. He landed a few shots, but then he took a few shots, and at the end of the day, you got to say the better man won. Froch was just better. Froch made a few problems for himself by keeping his hands low, but then he answered all those problems by landing a load of punches. That's what you want to see. And he's still got a good punch on him. That's what we can say about Johnson. He's got over a 50% knockout ratio, and at this weight, he's dangerous. That is what you got to say. And for someone like Lucian Bute, that's always going to be a danger. Moving on to Lucian Bute now. Bute, we know, is from Romania but lives in Quebec. Fought all but one of his fights out of Quebec, and this one also is in Quebec. See a pattern? I see it too. Maybe that's why he never was invited to the Super 6? I think so. Anyway, what do we know about Bute? He's had 29 fights, won all 29, knocked out 24 of those 29. He's a huge puncher, 80% knockout ratio. He can box, we all know he can box, and he can bang, and that's scary. That scares me right now. I'm quivering. He's the IBF Super Middleweight champion, and he's defended his title against some good people. It's Sakio Bika, Liberado Andrade. In fact, he should have lost to Andrade in the final round of their first fight. Should have lost that by knockout, but he didn't. He made it through. Doesn't matter. Beat Andrade again, beat Edison Miranda, beat Brian McGee, beat Jean-Paul Mendy. He's beat a lot of people. He beats him. He does beat him. Can't say that against him. And this one is probably his most dangerous one, because he's coming against the guy who's just going to keep coming forward and keep trying to get that big shot in. But I think he's got this guy. He's got this guy's number now. I think he's got Glen Johnson. I think he'll stop him as well, because he can start to box him, and then he can start to put the punches together, and he'll start banging. And that's going to be Glen Johnson's probably his last hurrah as well, really. I'm just going to get down to see how I see it going now. Basically, I see Lucian Bute winning by knockout in the later rounds. I think Johnson's going to come forward and he's going to get outboxed. I think that Bute is going to keep boxing, and Johnson's going to keep coming, because this is his last chance really. This is his last payday. This is the last time we're probably going to see him, and I think there's going to be a huge following for this fight, because we're going to honour his pretty much exit from the sport. But I think he's going to get outboxed from the first few rounds. First 1 to 6, I think it's going to be all Bute. Johnson's going to come forward, maybe have pockets of success, but I don't think he's going to have enough to beat Bute, to be honest. And I think that later on Bute is going to start putting the punches together, putting hard punches together, that is, and then maybe later on he'll get stopped on his feet. I don't think he'll be put down. If he's put down, that'll be a bit of a shame for Johnson, but I see him getting stopped by him. I honestly see him getting stopped.